All right, this system is looking beautiful. Things are going well, things are going great. Corals are doing fine. SPS are starting to encrust over the rockwork. Got a new copper band right there to the left. He's picking, he's eating, he's doing all what he needs to do. The Aptasia problem is pretty much to none. Things are looking great in this system. Things are doing great. Besides having some issues with some little bit of diatoms that you can see on the sand bed right there on the lower left. Other than that, things are looking okay. You can see right there, there's a little bit of green diatoms. Rockwork, there's no algae buildup of any sort yet. It's about a month in, and this system is doing awesome. You can see there's an anemone trying to creep up on the upper section over there in the backwork. But if it does start going up on the, let's say, the back wall there, I will take them off and try to bring them down, or I may sell them off to anybody who wants them, because the clownfishes themselves have their anemone posted right there. He will not move. They won't allow him to move. So that's what they do. They keep biting the nip. They keep nipping at the tips to ensure that the anemone stays in place. It's kind of weird how they do that, but I noticed that these two have a method of keeping their anemone right where it's at, because if you noticed in the previous tank, the anemone was always in those positions towards the right side of the tank. And for some reason, they just have that ability to do that. I don't know what they're doing, but all I can say is that they keep it from moving out of place. While the other ones move, there's one back there, and if we just kind of go around this way, you can actually see one towards the back area on the lower sections there in the rock. Can't even actually see them right. Yeah, you just see a yellow damsel. So anyways, yeah, so you can see up on top there's that anemone. There's another anemone back there also. I just can't see him right now, but you can see peppermint shrimp hiding around the rockwork back there, doing their thing. There's a whole bunch of them. They're just all around. And yep, clownfishes are doing awesome. You can see them. They're 10 years old, going to 11 in my tank. They're probably a couple years older than that before I got them in Sunnyvale, California, when there used to be an LFS there that got shut down due to relocation. So you can see the system's doing great. Things are thriving, things are looking awesome. Corals are happy. It's looking awesome. I just got home just about 30 minutes ago from work, so I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of a quick look. A little bit of red cyano up there up on top where that SPS is at, but nothing too bad, nothing too much. There's still one Aptasia, like right about there. I don't know if you can see. I'll see if I can get my finger in there. Like, whoops, right about there. This guy's starting to color up. You can see some green. He used to be pretty much all browned out. Now he's starting to color up. You can see his things are doing well. So SPS polyps are all out. If you look closely enough, you can see the polyps are out. You can see there's starting to be some colors at the tip right there also, like a purplish hue. So we'll see what color this guy ends up being. But you can see right there, there is the orange passion, sexual orange passion. I removed him from my bedroom tank and placed him over here in the living room tank, and he's actually recovering. So he's doing actually pretty good. He's getting his color back. You can see more of that blue. You can see his polyps are out. The PC rainbow was starting to encrust over it, and I needed to take him out of there in order to save him. And if you come here on this side, you can see polyps and everything are out, and he's slowly recovering and doing well. So he likes his new spot. You can see everybody else right there is doing fine. Blastos, no name SPS acro of some sort. Chalices. You can see there is my worldwide coral yellow tip, which is starting to encrust on the rockwork. You can see right there on the bottom, starting to slowly encrust, doing well. Strawberry shortcake starting to get its colors back. You can see the pink, you see the green, everything is doing awesome. It's looking very good. And all the rest of the corals are doing fine. They're doing quite well, quite well. So let me move back here and Yeah. Doing great. So I'm very happy with the system, very happy with the way it's looking. It's looking awesome. Living room tank is doing great. Other than that, same things are happening in the sump area. We'll take a little bit of a look here. We got the GHL rocking. Let me turn on this light. There we go. I'm going to have to go ahead and take this off because we don't need this. So you can see here in the sump area, things are going great. Bubble Magus protein skimmer is working awesome. Trying to keep it as clean as possible. I do my siphoning in the sump when I do the water change. I'll stick a tube in there with a pump and just siphon out any detritus that builds up on the lower portions of the sump area. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is just being dosed. You can see calcium reactor line right there, the effluent line being tripped out. Still clean. Always dusting off top of the power packs, making sure everything's good. But or power bars, excuse me, GHL power bars. But other than that, things are fine. Dosing regimen, sulfate, no pucks. I'm not going to install the nitrate reactor. No need for that. You can see as of right now we got a 8.18 on pH, 79 degrees temp. So it was at 8.2, dropped to 8.1. So it kind of just stays in that certain range. So there's a range of things, but I'm not too worried about anything. Soft plumbing going on. You can see with the vinyl tubing, clamps on everything, no issues. You always want to make sure you got those clamps on. I don't think I'm going to have some sort of issues. I've never had any issues with soft plumbing when it comes to vinyl tubing. I don't know about others, but what I do is a method where I actually heat up the ends of the tubes. So when you place them in there when it's hot or heat it up, I just take a lighter, light it, heat the ends of it, and then it creates like a really good suction. You ever do that science project where you hit where you put a boiled egg up on top and you heat the bottom of the glass bottle and you see that boiled egg just suck up until it actually goes inside that bottle? Well, basically that's what goes on with the vinyl tubing. You just heat it up and it just creates a suction where then when it cools up, it's rock solid right on there. But you still want to put those hose clamps just in case, you know. The what if factor, right? Anyways, that's it, guys. So let's take a look at these other tanks. Let me put this back on and let me just turn off the light here. You can say this tank's rocking, doing well. The Achilles tank, as always, this guy's getting bigger, fatter, and he's just healthy, man. Just doing really, really well. Corals are doing great. And just been plucking off some of these nuisance polyps that keep trying to pop up through the rock work and all. But yeah, this tank's doing awesome. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at the other tank. So bedroom tank is doing great, doing awesome, beautiful. Torches, everything are just really opened up right now. Everything's doing great. I trimmed back the Monty caps up on top. You can see I just did some pruning, which I did some fragging, trying to make sure that blue Oregon tort right there keeps growing. Did some trimming back around that coral there. So things are looking great, things are looking awesome. You can see here I did some pruning right there because this lifeless SPS coral right there actually started coming back at a microscopic level. Looked like nothing was there, but nope, life started coming back. So I just wanted to make sure that, you know, he's not gonna be covered up once again or getting harassed by the Stylopora. Fragged out some pieces of this guy and fragging out pieces of the red planet up on top. You can see there's a little bit of a white area right there because I'm kind of cutting it because it's literally growing out of the water. So I fragged out a few pieces from behind, just trying to make sure that it doesn't grow out of the water and starts dying off at the tips. So I'm actually going to frag out this area here and create some more frags, but little by little I just want to make sure that the frags are liking the frag tank. So the pieces that I actually prune off are going to be liked by the other water quality in the other system, because not all systems are the same. In a sense, try to keep it that way, but Arlene's corals are actually doing okay. They're actually healing up. These are closed up right now, but the polyps were kind of coming out, so her little flower pot slash Goniopora is doing good. I don't know if it's a Burnipora, whatever. I'm not too fond of naming these corals. I just buy them because I like them, and you know, it's Arlene's coral. Whatever she wants is what she wants. The color of these corals are looking great. They're doing well. Fish are doing fine. Fish are doing great. It's awesome. You can actually see the rays of the illumination of the light. But same lights, rocking it all. Same stuff. Corals on this end are doing awesome. Yeah, so just had to quiet down Alexa. But yeah, you can see corals around here are doing great. Beautiful colors. Green Slimer right there actually broke off in two. I planted them back onto the rockwork, and he's already starting to encrust on the bottom there. So the other portion you can see on this side is already encrusted. You can see right there. And you can see this guy fell in the back here, just like what you see with the zoas in this man, I forgot the name of it. Anyways, fell back there. He's outgrowing, and you can see there's corals growing in the back here too. So there's corals everywhere, and I think it's a stellata, but something like that. And yeah, all these other acros are doing good. See, Optimus Prime just keeps on growing. The Maleficent is encrusting everywhere. You can see that whatchamacallit, Vivid right there, that Vivid acro is just encrusting and just growing more branches, just branching out. The yellow tips is doing well right here. Oh, dogs are acting up. Sorry about that. I silenced the dogs really quick. It's just all these little interruptions, but just trying to give you a quick look on what's going on here. I'll just show you on this side. Colors of the corals are great, man. Triggerfish is doing awesome, not being a nuisance. You can see he's getting fatter. You can see he's not bothering the corals. He's actually a great addition into the system. And he's kind of like the wrassies, you know, just trying to flip over a few little things on the sand bed. But he doesn't go for the coral. He doesn't go for a coral, and so far so good. He hasn't been going for the urchins or anything either. And the urchins and all that have been fine. So I think it's just him being fed well, but he's only getting fed twice a day. But he does get sheets of algae, and he does go for that and eats it like a champ. But beautiful fish. I'm actually glad I actually went with him in the system. But you can see the colors, and the colors of the trigger just rocks this tank. It's just nice. Very great addition. And there's my Soho tank, going on almost 9 years with me. Great fish. Been around since the saltwater tank days of just saltwater fish, I mean. Anyways, all right, let's take a look at the office. All right, so in this tank here, we did a few changes. I actually cleaned out more of this area here. I trimmed back a lot of the Monty Cat that was actually growing up. I tried to trim back more of it last time, but it just seemed like it was still trying to arch over all this Christmas Monty or Season's Greeting Monty, whatever you want to call it. But it was just arching over, and it actually started impeding over the length of the torches that want to just kind of just, you know, throw out their sweeper tentacles all over the place, or their tentacles, whatever. But their sweepers are just, or them themselves were getting hit up against that Monty cap. So I trimmed it way back, and you can see it's more open. So you no longer see that stairway going up, but that's okay. And everything else is fine, everything else is growing. Kind of broke off a little piece of this guy here and kind of put him up there. So you see that little cauliflower looking piece up on top? That's actually just stuck. because as I was trying to fix things, you touch them, you know, some areas are hard enough where you can touch it and it won't break, but there are those areas that are so brittle that you just touch it and it just breaks apart. And put the Aikens over here, got a Galaxia coral over here, beautiful one, nice piece, you can see right there. And for some reason this little area just builds up algae. So to make sure that these guys don't get covered up, I kind of put them on this side because the powder, the powder blue over here just loves to graze, and so does the fox. So they graze around this area here. You can see that. So that's why the rockwork is clean. So I figured that if I put them here, they graze around, doesn't really have that algae growing, because you can see there's a little bit of algae growing right there around those areas there, but they keep it under control, so that's a good thing. Clam's doing great as always. See, there's that guy there. Yeah, the dog's always barking. But I also got this hammer coral there. Killed off the big Aptasia that was growing there. You can see there's a peppermint shrimp right there. Look at that. So peppermint shrimp and copperband actually kind of dealt with that guy. I actually put some Aptasia F to kill him off, but there's a little bit of him still growing around. There's still a little bit like right about there. They hit this guy up once in a while, but you know, it looks like he's getting bigger and not smaller, so I might have to do some Aptasia F on that. Turn off all the power heads, and actually I turn off the current to the return also, so everything is turned off. So I'd sit for like about 14-15 minutes, and then I'll turn them back on. Sometimes you'll see a little something flow around, but at that time it's already kind of hardened up that it doesn't affect the other corals. So that's the only time I actually have to use it. But placed a hammer coral right there, and I also got a button scully right there. So I got a little button scully right there, which is actually pretty good, doing well. It's nice and fat, it's happy. And that's about it. Those are the new additions. Yeah, I placed the Aikens over here, and new addition is the Galaxia and button scully right there, and the hammer coral. So you can see there's some, yep, there's all that hair algae right there. So I kind of prune it back and they kind of trim down on it. The orchards will get around it, but most of this sometimes will grow back. So this is one of the problem areas here, and this is one of the problem areas here. You can see the Aikens are already just dying off, being covered up in that. And I don't know if it's the emerald crabs that actually get on there and start plucking at it and picking at it. But yeah, these guys may not make it, but we'll see, But other than that, corals are doing fine, doing great. Trying to give you a top look if I can. Yeah, you can see all those green tallies right there. If they keep growing out of control, I may have to nuke them, but you can already see that the utter chaos are starting to actually overtake them, which is a good thing. So the utter chaos are actually growing on top of them, kind of bring, you know, taking away the light from them. So that's a good thing. So I'm actually happy that those utter chaos are, you know, overgrowing them. They're pretty big. They're like the big version utter chaos. I don't know. They're not the small polyp version. So when they actually grow and they're going around, those heads, man, they cover light. So yep. So there's the tank, the office tank. Office tank's doing well, doing great. Got to give a little clean to the tank. There's a little haze on it, a little algae film. So I just take the magnet cleaner and gonna do that. But dosage and everything is the same, like in all my tanks. I dose sulfate, boron. I got the calcium reactor on this one. The bedroom tank is 2-part. I dose acro power, and I do iodide once a week. I used to do it once every 2 weeks, but I noticed that once a week seems to be doing fine. And I do catalog everything, and just to let you know, I'll just show you over here. I don't really do this, but here on my desk, this folder here. So I actually do a lot of cataloging even with things, but you can see here, so I show all the dosage of what I dose. There's vanadium, there's iodine, there's all these other things. So you can see the dates, I date everything. So yeah, the last time I dosed iodide was right there on the 8/14/22. It says all tanks, so I just dosed 1 mil, and even 1 mil in the frag tank. So, and then on the other side it will show like my calcium, nitrates, and stuff like that. So just showing you, and I have See, it just keeps on going from the past and all that. So I just keep a log and a record of what I dose. So then that way I know, like, if the tanks need more of something or less of something, if they don't look too well or not too well. But yep. Other than that, yeah. So that's the tank there, just showing you what I do. It's always good to catalog the results or catalog what you're dosing in there, and so because you're not going to remember, and it's regurgitated stuff that's coming out of my mouth right now. I'm pretty sure you heard it too. Write down everything that you do. If you change something, write it down. If you dose something, write it down. But I got everything pretty much on dosing units. The only thing that I actually dose myself manually, which is still on a dosing unit, is the iodide, because it is the Bubble Magus dosing pump. It's not one of the smart dosing pumps, so I don't have it set at the once a week thing, because this one will just dose daily. So it's either dose daily or not dose at all. So definitely thinking about getting like either the Versa or the, well, I do have in my an extra what is it, Red Sea doser. So any smart doser for me, if it's just one by itself, is fine, but might think of getting that. Other than that, those are all the same stuff, you know. This one gets Snowpox also to try to help out. I do have carbon in the sump too to try to help out the issue with the algae or the phosphates, but nothing too extreme. Other than that, let's take a look at the other tank. And okay, so here's the frag tank, and you can see the what is it, the clown tang is excited because he thinks he's about to be fed. But you can see here, you can see all the softies in the background. You can see a little bit of hair algae. There's some red planets, and there's that pretty much one SPS right there that's growing. This SPS right here in the center has been getting tackled with some algae issues up on top because of this guy here just trying to pick at the bottom base of it. And this guy's actually healing up here, but other than that, the other corals are doing okay. Have a little bit of an issue with some of the Monty caps right here. The crabs will actually go for them, so the little blue hermits will get in there and start picking at the flesh. So it is what it is. You know, if they want to do it, they want to do it. But frags are doing okay. Things are doing okay in this system. Still got this going on here with the rock work. That's some of Arlene's old rock work there. We kind of did a change. She wanted some of my live rock. She didn't really want some of this branching structure, so I actually gave her some of my live rock in her system. And her system's looking killer, man. She's got a great looking tank, and we'll do a little update on that also. But this is being filtered out, and look at the coral still alive, still open. All I do is just go like this, give it a little bit of air. That's about it. Once in a while, I'll probably for a day just put the aerator in there and just give it some good oxygen in the water system. But other than that, it's just in there, it's just curing, it's just doing their thing. Yeah, this carob sea tree, she just thought it was just too lumpy, too much in her tank. It just took away a lot of space. When she saw my tank in the living room, she was like, I want to change it. And I said, you know what, we could do it now and later because your corals are starting to encrust. So, you know, she had a little bit of an algae issue too. So me putting in my live rock in there, just it took care of it instantly. They ate up whatever was left of hair algae, her fish, her emerald crabs. She even had a sea hare in there, a sea slug or sea hare, whatever you want to call it. And she had to give it back to Aquatic Collection, our local LFS, because she doesn't need it. And there was nothing left except algae film on the glass. And you know, at a level where you can't see with the eye, you can see little bits of hair algae, but it's growing enough for the snails and for any of the other little critters to get at. But now she's wrapping algae on a little clip and just dropping it in there, you know, seaweed, algae, because she's just sheets of algae because she just needs to feed them. There's just not enough food. It's her tank is too pristine, too clean now. It's too clean. But that's what good live rock does for you. Live rock, good live rock will cure your problems. Anyways, this is the Herm, just giving you a little bit of a quick look on my tanks and my system, just letting you know everything's doing great, everything's doing all right. And of course, we all get our problems here and there. There's always gonna be issues. Nothing's ever perfect in our reef systems, but just try to enjoy it the best you can. Listen to the people that you find that are gonna be good enough to give you the right advice or the right remedy to a problem or a situation, but just know this too. if they're ever going to tell you how to supplement something, just understand this: unless they don't have your water in their hands or they have not tested your water, the advice that they give you goes with warning. Okay, never take that and just simply just start adding this or adding that. You have to water test. Water testing is key to any succession when it comes to reefing. People that don't tend to test, you know, hey, if it's working for you, it's working for you. But there's going to be that time, there's going to be that moment that you're going to regret not testing your water because you may not have caught something before it actually started doing the damage or the worst of things in your system. You don't want to wait till things go wrong. Please test your water. And if you're going to take advice from somebody off the YouTube, either it be a big vendor of any sort trying to commercialize a product and trying to sell you something in a bottle or something like that, saying this is the all-in-one fix-all type of remedy situation, just know this: we don't have things like that just yet. Even things to take away red cyano and all that, it's just nothing but a band-aid to a problem. It's not an actual fix to the problem unless you actually know what's going on with your system, can fix the problem with the system or whatever's actually causing that problem, and then you actually have a solution to that problem. But it's reefing, you know, it's reefing. I just say, just like other people say, just let it ride out and the system will fix itself. It will fix itself. Me, I just clean the glass, I do my water changes, and that's about it, man. Just dosing my dosage, doing my ICP testing when I feel like I need to do it. And I don't do it at the times or at the end when I feel like, you know, things are at their worst. Let's just take a walk over here, Icona, and show you guys the living room tank one more time. But just like this system here, you know, it's a new system, new tank, new everything, but the rock work and everything is still somewhat the same except the Carib Sea rock. Remember, I got it tied into this system. We got, you know, live sand. There's ways of just making sure everything's gonna come out great. I've been doing this for quite a while already, and even myself, you know, I'm still learning. We're all still learning. Just remember, it's regurgitated stuff that I tell you, or what you're hearing now, but learning is a key thing when it comes to reefing, when it comes to this hobby. You never stop learning. You're never gonna be having that all-in-one, I know what I'm doing. There's nothing ever gonna go wrong with my system because it happens, you know, it happens, things happen. Hopefully corals won't die, but if you ever catch a coral, it's starting to recede from its flesh, either, you know, STNing or RTNing, hopefully you'll be able to find a solution to the remedy of that situation, or remedy that situation. But testing is what basically is what it is. And once you have a stable flow of things, once you know what to put into your system by dosage, you know, it's like me, it's like with my sulfate. For some reason, just like I said before, you know, it just always says that my sulfate levels are always down, extremely low. And I've done the math, I'm doing the dosage needed, and things are now in the green. So, you know, hey, the proof is right here. Look at my corals are all happy. Everybody's happy. And that's what it is. When you look at people's, or when you hear advice from people, or if you're gonna get advice from people, look at their systems and look at their tanks before you take the advice, because somebody that gives you advice and not has a tank to actually represent that advice that they're giving you, or the knowledge that they're throwing at you, I would actually take it into second thought of consideration when it comes to wanting to implement that on my own system. And that's one of the key benefits too about having extra tanks in your home. If you're gonna try to do some sort of kalkwasser or some sort of new, you can say you're gonna try to change things to try to raise that pH or try to do something to interrupt the stability of your system, just know this: stability is key when it comes to having a thriving reef tank. Once you create instability, the possibilities of things going wrong can happen quickly, because things go bad fast and good things take time. Just understand that. And if your tank took a long time to get where it's at, it's like, why change something when something's already working? If you're gonna change something, do it very slowly and take your time doing it, okay? Words of advice, I guess. But this is the Herm, just giving you a little bit of a quick look on what's going on with my systems, and hopefully everything's going good with your guys' systems. And I'm very happy with what's going on with mine. Corals are doing great. Fish are doing awesome. You can see the swimming room that they have. Look at that rabbit fish is just coasting. He's just enjoying, you know, more space. He's like, finally more space. All that clutter in the last tank. But yeah, everybody's there. Fishes are great. These pairs of 6-line wrassies right there, they just love it. Copper band's always on the hunt. Alright guys, this is a Herm. If I said anything that doesn't make sense, hey. Anyways guys, peace, patience, and stability is key. And just remember to test your water and just be patient. Good things come to those who wait. Alright guys, peace.